All right, welcome back. Thanks so much. Welcome to More Up North. I'm so glad that we have a panel tonight that could be here. And sometimes we just take advantage of people that are in from out of town when we know they have a special conference, and tonight's kind of like that. We're going to be talking about the Chuitna coal project, and I think there's a lot of Alaskans, even though this is only about 45 miles away from Anchorage, that don't know Chuitna from Chewbacca. So, and I'm learning more about it as I go along, and it's hitting the news in some places and not in others. Everyone knows about Pebble Mine, but very few people know about this mining project. So I'm really happy. Larry Heilman has come in. He's a beluga property owner. He's a hunter, he's a fisherman, and member of the Chuitna Citizens Coalition. And I'm glad you're here. Also, Dennis Gann is here. He is the Anchorage-based leg of Cook Inlet Keeper, which I serve on the board of, and it's just a great organization.
Thanks.
And also, Ron Burnett is here. He is too from Beluga. It's not just a whale, it's a place. And he is an owner, hunter, fisherman, and member of the Chuitna Citizens Coalition as well. So thank you guys all for being here.
Thank you for having us.
So how many times do you say Chuitna to someone and they go, huh? What?
That's pretty much a constant, I think. There's so many rivers that are really similar. There's the Chuitna, the Chuitna, and so there's a lot of confusion. And I think people really, when we go out and do our outreach, people are really confused about what this project is, even though it's, like you said, 45 miles away from Anchorage on the western shore of Cook Inlet. But here what we're looking at is a proposed coal strip mine. There's a company called Packrim Coal that is proposing to dig through about 6,000 acres of wetlands. There's part of the project that really caught our attention is that they intend to directly mine through 11 miles of a salmon stream. And that's never happened before in the state, and that's a really terrible precedent if we should go forward with this.
Now, when you say 11 miles of salmon stream, mining through it, this is destroying it. This stream is on top, and they're going down 350 feet underneath this stream to get the coal. So that stream is gone. That stream produces 15 to 20% of the silver salmon fry that are in the Chuit River.
To come back out. So a lot of people don't understand when you have a river system and all the feeder wetlands and streams that feed it, that most of our salmon, the kings and the silvers and the dog salmon, they go up these streams. That's where they spawn. Now reds go into the lakes and spawn. But these go into real small creeks, this wide and yay deep.
Right.
Those babies live there for 3 years minimal. And each year that next one comes out, the new adults come back in, they spawn up there. So when they mine this, they will be killing thousands of babies. And that'll never come back again. In 5 years, that return is done. So 20,000, 30,000, 100,000, a million, they're done.
So tell me, and specifically for you two, you live in a place called Beluga, okay? Explain what that means to people, because you're 45 miles away. You're not that far out from here, but it's very, very different to live there. Can you explain what that's like?
Okay, Beluga, let's go back to the word Beluga. Beluga is Russian. Beluga means white. The Beluga River is a heavily glacier-fed river, and when the Russians came into Cook Inlet, they saw that. Beluga, a white river. So now we have the beluga whales, which are white. But over in Beluga, we have the Chugach power plant, the largest power plant in the state of Alaska. We have ConocoPhillips. We have the gas field there that feeds Anchorage. But that is our industry. Those are places on the map. They go out there, they drill a gas well. When they're done, they have to remove the gravel where the gas well was. So they clean it up. So we're not against industry,
right.
But Beluga itself is a quiet little haven. I'm one of the luckiest guys in the world. I can go fish 5 different streams. We have many lakes. I can leave my cabin, my house, and go a half a mile and harvest my moose. I got my freezers full of fish from these 5 streams. It's subsistence. You know, there's a little bit of hardship there, but Anchorage is only 25 minutes away.
I want to come live at your house.
No.
Well, and the other thing
It's
is
not a pickup line. I mean, that's, I grew up like that. Well, I'll fight her for you. No, you know, having moose in my freezer is really important. Being able to, you know, I grew up on the Anchor River, being able to just walk out. I lived on the west side of the inlet growing up. In the summers, we had a fish site, set net site, commercial. You know, to just go out and put half a bucket of razor clams in that life is really difficult to explain to people. It is not just like, okay, you can move to town, here's a bunch of money, we'll buy you out. You cannot buy that lifestyle. And when you said hardship, I think it's just hard work, you know, and that's not always a hardship. Sometimes it's just good, honest dinner on the plate.
Let's explain this to you. A friend of ours over there, Clark and Becky, their granddaughter came out, and you know, she's like 4 years old. She came out to stay the weekend with Grammy and Grandpa, and she's sitting there, and this little girl's just cute as a bell, and she goes, "Grammy, how about pizza?" She goes, "I'm sorry, honey, we don't have no pizza places here." And the little girl thought a little minute, and she goes, "Well, how about Burger King?" She goes, "Honey, we don't have no carryout." She goes, "No carryout?" You know, she just because she was there, you know,
you've got carry out. You just got to carry it out of the woods after you shoot it.
But you know, the industry's, you know, it's grown. It's been growing over there for years. We have lots of activity, lots of crews from oil and gas exploration. Last year we had 400 or more in camps, seismic workers and stuff. So, you know, there's lots of activity there, but it's also kind of quiet. It's away. It's not like 5th and 6th at rush hour. You know, there's some traffic, but it's a different way. You go out there and you live on the land, and knowing that you have to be a little more careful than normal because there may not be no ride to town. You know, just because you call 911, that don't mean anybody's coming if it's cloudy, snowing, raining.
Right.
You may have to put a Band-Aid on that for 2 or 3 days, depending on the weather. Right. So you have to do things a little different, and you live a little different, and you get to appreciate what Mother Nature gave us. The clean water that's there is, I mean, it's just great. This river has got potable water. You can go up there at the headwaters and drink that water without any worry.
No beavers upstream.
Downstream.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. They're not upstream.
They're not
so
up there. Yeah, just above where the mine is going to go in, or where they want to go in with it. That is all great water as it comes out of the ground.
Well, I think what I'm most impressed with you two being here and talking about this is that you're living in a place right now that does cooperate with industry.
Very much so.
And that's been fine up to now. The power plant is there. There's drilling rigs. There's people out there working. This is not about industry, because that is one of the things that we're coming to in this state on all sorts of levels and different projects is how can we coexist? In a lot of places, we've been able to coexist, whether it be mining, oil. I mean, this is something very difficult when you start talking about Anwar with people outside that don't understand that Cook Inlet's been, I mean, I grew up, you know, falling asleep in the cabin looking through the Visqueen and seeing the flames of, you know, the West Forelands and they're burning off gas. I mean, we have been able to a certain extent. There have been accidents, there has been neglect on several levels. We actually are coming to a place now where we're going to have to make decisions where we're not going to be able to coexist in the same place, I think. And so this project right now, certainly Cook Inlet Keeper is working on this, but I want to talk a little bit about the history of this mine. My understanding is that those permits have been out there for a very, very long time.
The leases have.
Yeah, the leases, I'm sorry. Yeah. The leases have been out for a very long time.
Yes.
Right, and this project was actually permitted in the 80s, and then through market forces and litigation, it never came to fruition. The project was never developed. And so it kind of laid idle for several years. And about 4 years ago, Pac Rim Coal came, they took over the leases, and they proposed this new project. So this is, these leases have been out there for several years. And there's actually 60 square miles of coal leases straddling the Chuitna River and all the tributaries. Pac Rim Coal has half of those leases, about 30 square miles. And what they're proposing right now is to develop about 10,000 acres, or about half of what of their coal leases. And they call that logical mining unit 1. Well, I'd call it, illogical mining to destroy wetlands and salmon streams. But the reality is that if a company goes in and they invest the money that it would take to develop this area, the likelihood of all 60 square miles of that area being developed increase significantly. If they build the infrastructure, they'll want to develop the rest of it. And so you're looking at the entire headwaters of the Chuitna River.